As I was going with a joiner, I was doing steeplejacking as well. I had 2 jobs going at once, and I amassed 20 ladders. And when I finally went to do my national service, I did that 2 years in Germany, and I came home and I thought, I'm going to be a steeplejack. And really, I weren't quite well educated at all till then, you know. I started my life climbing up chimneys and church steeples, and round Manchester it's raining more than it's fine. So when it rains, you've nothing to do if you're a steeplejack, you know. So it's into the mechanic's shop, or into the boiler house, or into the engine house. In them days, there were great big 2,000 horsepower steam engines driving big spinning mills in Lancashire. Well, that's a bit sad, really. They've all gone, you know. But I learned a lot there, you know. There'd be one boiler down, and the boiler makers would be mending it, you know. You can, like, pick up a book that's been written by an academic, and it'll say, the rivets are closed. It doesn't tell you how the bloody close, you know, it just says this is how, you know, you just do it like it says in my book. Until you've actually seen a man knocking rivets in a boiler, or a man making chains, you know, it's very difficult. I learned more by observation and asking questions than I ever did at school, you know. And my life went on, and, you know, like 30 odd years ago, if anybody had said you'll end up making boilers, you know, riveted boilers that hold 200 pounds per square inch in your back garden, I'd have been a bit scared, you know. I would have, wouldn't have known really what to say. But life's gone by, and then along come the television into my life, you know, at first to film the world of steeplejacking, which is a bit violent and exciting. And, you know, things can go wrong lots of times, and half of people who come to watch a big chimney fall down only come just in case something goes wrong, you know, and all of that. And touch wood, for 40 years nearly, nothing's gone wrong, but there's been plenty of bloody days when it could have done, you know. And all, and it's, in fact, some of the chimneys that I knocked down in the past, if you applied for the insurance cover, the third-party insurance cover, they'd all have brown underpants, them men in London, in Lloyd's, you know, in that big building, bad news. It got to the stage where the premium were more than what I was getting for doing the job, so I give it up in the end, you know. It's much easier standing in front of a television camera and talking about big steam hammers and things like that. Anyway, I better not bother you much more. They only say I've got 3 minutes at this, you see. Well, I could stand here all afternoon, really, and talk to you. So anyway, thank you very much, and thank you for my honorary degree. Thank you.
Vice-Chancellor, members of the university, graduates, ladies and gentlemen. First of all, I would like to congratulate you most heartily on this great achievement, this moment in your careers. Your expressions on your faces as you come over to shake my hand, and the speed with which some of you come over to shake my hand, tell me all I need to know about the delight, the satisfaction, maybe a little about the relief that you rightly feel in achieving and receiving your degree. I would like to offer my congratulations to our distinguished honorary graduate, Mr. Fred Dibnah, and I feel that in this university, which is about academic excellence but in a practical setting, Fred has given us the practical setting and communicated in a unique way and in a very, very clear way. Thank you, Fred. I also understand that the reason that you might not have been with us at the start on the platform was due to you finding your way to this university via Aston University. I can only say that we're delighted that you didn't stop off at Aston and receive your degree there. We're very proud to have you as an honorary graduate of our university.
Anyway, it was a very proud moment in Fred's life, something that he always spoke about later on with great glee to everyone who'd listen. And who wouldn't be proud of being able to put the word doctor before your name? And Fred always did.
There's a couple of blokes hanging about here, mucking with the props.
Yeah. Were they young uns or what?
Oh, one was about 22.
Ah, bloody hell.
They lived on the estate here somewhere.
Yeah.
And I said, what are you doing? He said, well, we're just looking. I said, well, so what are you doing, pulling the props?
Yeah.
Shaking the props. I said he could shake them away.
Yeah.
You know.
They'll have a job, pull them out now.
I know, but
plenty of weight on.
Without that, they knows it.
Yeah.
And then last night I had a load of
Bits of kids, like.
lads about 18, 20, all had a drink, you know what I mean? Had a drink hanging about.
Yeah.
And
well, you've got a right dog for it, haven't you? So you'll not have no trouble with him about it.
No, that'll be all right.
Yeah. And then tomorrow, we'll be here about 10 o'clock tomorrow.
I'll be here till in the morning.
And we'll light the fire and it'll all be over with.
What time you light it? 11, isn't it?
Yeah, 11:30. And we'll be over with by about 10 to 12.
And
then we're all off to the pub for a swift half.
Well, I'll be on my way, I won't be stopping.
Yeah. So
that's the trouble tonight, you see. If they go on the beer, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was about 11:30, quarter to 12 when they come.
Yeah.
You can get through there, you see.
They do, yeah, they'll be walking home from where have you know. That's trouble when they've been all this advertising that the builders have done. Normally, when we do it, you know, on QT, like you only get your invited few, and it's not so bad, you see. I've just been saying we had one set on fire once. It's first one and last one, hopefully. But what happens is if there's no wood about, you're all right. It's when, like, if you had all bloody wood piled up here, it'd be a real hazard, you know. But if they've got to pick wood up and carry it a long way, basically they're idle and they don't want to do that.
Well, do you want me to collect the wood tonight for you?
No.
No, I mean for tomorrow morning. I'll do it about 2 or 3 in the morning.
Yeah. If you want to get a bit of wood, but hey, they're bringing some on a wagon, you know.
Oh, are they? Oh.
Yeah, you've no need to worry about that. Yeah, and some tyres, they're bringing all of that. Like. My mate here, he's already starting.
It was an earache first time I've had earache last night.
Yeah.
You know, like that. I've never had no trouble all week till last night.
No.
Around about 11:30. 22, quarter to 12.
Friday payday, you say they'll all have been in their house. Yeah. And I'd forgot my bloody hooter, you know, for blowing when thing falls down. So I'm looking around and I thought, well, when I've lit fire, I've enough time. I've been up this tower on an exploratory mission, have a look at the works of the clock, you see. And I thought I've enough time, get from bottom of chimney to top of tower, and I'll sit in this bloody crown on top of this tower, all fancy, beautiful blacksmithing ironwork, you know. And when it started moving, I let the bloody bell with my hammer, you see, like dong, dong, you know. Anyway, in the pub that night, I had another brainwave. Thought if he gets me 2 lengths of clothesline, the man I'm working for, and a couple of them pulley wheels you screw in ceiling, I'll rig it up with the clothesline so I can stay at the bottom of the chimney.
So it's all right.
I can stay at the bottom of the chimney, and when it's moving, I can pull the clothesline, you know, and it'll work through around these pulleys and work the hammer on the bell, you know. And it was brilliant. You know, like sort of pull about 4 foot of slack, and you could see the hammer lift up on top of the tower, you know, and dong, and it was like just like a funeral, you know, like right dead slow ringing. You couldn't do it fast, you know. You got to like dong, you know, and then dong, and they were magnificent. The bloke I'm working for, the bloody demolition man, you know, he'd been a boxer or something, and he was really full of himself, you know. And I thought, I've got to ring Don and Jean back at Manchester, you see. And they said, well, ring such a body at BBC Glasgow or somewhere, you know. And they will possibly come if you say that we've requested it, you see. So, you know, I could hardly tell what they were bloody talking about with lingo, like their accent, you know. So this boxer's understudy or his bloody protector got on phone, and he never mentioned Don Howarth or nothing. It's Doug what's his name, you know, the famous boxer and blah blah blah, you know, and all of this. And as soon as you start, you know, spouting, they just turn off. They now showed up, you know. They buggered it up actually, you know. They could have
you know, if they'd have been a bit more diplomatic, they would have been there. But alas, they didn't, so that was the end of that. No, it's not improved any, has it?
Do you know St Joseph? Do you know Longsight, where that police training centre is? Plymouth
I know
Grove.
I know where that is.
Plymouth. Well, that used to be St Joseph Boys at school before the war. That's where I was put. Because after my father died, my mother died shortly after. And nobody to look after me. I was put in that home at Manchester there. Brothers used to look after you. The swine used to get hold of you like that. And
Come here.
Real London lads and Birmingham boys, real bully boys, used to knock hell out of you. Having said that, when I got older, I was in charge of all the shoes. And I had to see that it was kept in good nick, you know. And I was giving them a clout myself. Get in and get your shoes changed, I've told you. They want repairing, you know. But if I had my life over again, that's where I'd like to be. There's one of the Busby babies in there and all, who played for United with me. He was in that school, one of the Busby babies. I wish that kind of life would be back again now to half of these lot that's on the road.
It's not so good, is it?
No.
Yeah. No, they once led the world.
Having said it, I've got a grandson living with me, he doesn't give me a light.
Yeah.
He's in bed now, 22 he is. His mother and father's in Australia.
Yeah.
He doesn't give me a light. He's lying in bed there now. So I took him out because he wouldn't be on the street. He got in with a girl and she threw him out. And I took him in so he wouldn't be on the street and get in with the wrong people. But I'm beginning to think I'm sorry. He doesn't. He buys his own food, but if he's short of bread or anything like that, he uses mine.
Next yours.
Takes mine, and he doesn't give me a light, and he's got the freedom of the television and everything, electric bill, everything.
As long as he's getting it for now.
22. His mother and father's in Australia. They don't care. They're not interested. He made his own canoe. He said, but I'm going to have to put him on the street in the end. I'm going to have to do it. I'm going to have to do it and make him realise that he's got a. Pull his socks up, you know what I mean?
Responsibilities for.
I don't set myself to think that if I put him on the street, he would, you know, maybe get him with the wrong people, you know, a layabout and all. That's the only thing that's upsetting me. To think that if that happened to him, I would have been to blame for it, because he's my flesh and blood, ain't he? You know what I mean?
Now, there's a lot about like that, isn't there? There's a lot live near us in these doss houses, you know. Terrible state of affairs.
He's got a brother, from Australia. He's different again. He's in the army. He was in the Gulf. His other brother's different again.
There's no work for him, is there?
No.
Unless you're super intelligent, like, you can't get a bloody job, you know. The jobs for thickies are all gone, aren't they?
Well, I told him to go for a postman's job.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I mean, what's wrong with the postman's job or a milkman's job? Or a dustbinman's job. When I was young, nobody'd look at a dustbinman's job. Now there's a 2-year waiting list now, isn't there?
Money's good.
For a dustbinman's job.
Money's good.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Anyhow, I'm glad to have met you.
Ah, yeah, likewise. Are you coming for a pint after we've done it?
Oh, I'll be gone home. I haven't been here all night. No. I'd love to see you, but I've got to get me rest, haven't I?
Yeah, bloody hell.
How old do you think I am?
No,
How old do you think I am? And I'll tell you how old I am. How old am I?
69.
74 I am.
Yeah. I knew you'd be older, but I didn't want to upset you. In fact, you're in bloody good order. You're in good nick for your age, yeah. Yeah.